Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Tender Talks. I'm your host, Albina, and today we have with us Rituu Tandonn. Rituu Tandonn is a life and a behavioral coach and believes in transforming lives to empower people to excel in their personal and professional life. Of course, she dons many hats. She's an author, motivational speaker, empowerment coach, etc., etc., etc. Very humble, very humble. So, welcome to our show, Rituji.
Thank you so much for having me here.
What's the success of your smile?
The success of my smile is that, there is no confusion between my head and my heart. So I follow my heart and my head simultaneously. If there is no confusion, there is peace. And if there is peace, there is a smile.
Amazing, amazing. So, can you tell us about your journey into life transformation?
See, nothing starts just like that. Everything starts with certain thoughts that come to your mind. So I was in a corporate job, and along with my corporate job, I was raising my children and doing all those things that a normal, wife does. So along with that, there was a certain lack of fulfillment. I thought that how long can we just keep living like this, going to work, coming home, taking care of the house, taking care of the children? There has to be some more meaning to life. And with that thought started my quest for knowing myself. Everything started with that curiosity that I need to do something more, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I started reading spiritual books, then I started doing spiritual courses, then I started doing more scientific courses like NLP, DNA healing, other forms of healing. And with that came lot of peace, lot of clarity, and I started enjoying my life rather than sulking about going to work. Everything started to fall in place. So I discovered that if you find your inner peace, then life becomes more easier, and everyday challenges also do not become obstacles any longer. And with that, I wanted to share that if you start going inward, you discover your own inner treasures, and then is the time when you actually know what you can deliver to the world, and your purpose or whatever meaning to life starts emerging. And as luck would have it, in my role in my organization, I stepped into CSR. So I got exposure to working with different strata of society. I work with the underprivileged children, I work with old age people, and I understood that basic human needs are the same. And if we have to find fulfillment, if we have to find purpose, if we have to find happiness, it all starts by going inward and finding your center. So with that started the I started training myself so I could share my learnings with the world, my spiritual insights, my scientific courses that I did. So with that I started doing workshops voluntary basis during CSR, and then I started doing those same things in the corporate. So that is how the journey started.
Amazing, amazing. It's really inspirational and motivational, I'll say. Now, when you speak about inner peace, you have to find your inner peace. So, can you give us some advice as to how individuals, as in the steps, first, second, probably, of how they need to reflect to gauge that inner peace? Of course, sense of purpose at every stage is different, but inner peace is for well being. So,
Yes, inner peace
how
is
can you help
something.
us?
Yeah, inner peace is something that gives you that power, that force, that if even if things don't go your way, you have that resilience, you have that grit to stand up again. And that only comes when you have clarity about what you want and why you want that. And that can only come after a lot of introspection. You have to really sit down with yourself in isolation and ask yourself, what is it that actually makes me happy? What is it that I want to do? What is it that will give meaning and purpose to my life? What is it that will give me the actual fulfillment? And when you know those answers, then you have to even go deeper to understand. The second level is that why do I want that? Does it sync with my value system? Does it sync with my belief system? Will it actually make me a different person? Will it actually make me exhibit what I have in me
Right.
as a person? And when you know those answers, then you try to, bridge the gap, that am I ready to deliver what I actually want to do?
Mhm.
And then comes the time of grooming yourself. So,
Right.
it's a process. So, first you start with your what you want to do, why you want to do, and then you find out whether you are capable to do that or not. And if there is something that you lack, then how you can learn and improvise yourself and, redevelop that skill and then share it with the world. So,
Love.
that is how it begins.
Amazing. Because what happens sometimes is we all have our purposes, different values and beliefs. These are three common grounds, I'll say. And even if you want to do something, you ultimately don't end up doing that thing. Because, of course, you are dealing with society, you're dealing with family, you're dealing with your work pressure. So that sense of self and that sense of belonging gets missing. And
Very true.
probably I would say that once people retire, then they really find their sense of self and belonging because they have time, right?
Very true.
So what is your take for adults and youngsters, or even people middle-aged, the naughty 40s or whatever? What is your take
Yeah.
on how to help people?
Yeah, so I feel that, today's age is a lot more privileged than what, we faced as growing up. For us, they were, very fixed dreams that, either you get into this because this is what the society would support and respect. But now things are changing, mindsets are changing. People are equally respectable about whatever choices you make in life, whatever profession you want to follow. And that gives the youngsters more, liberty to follow their passion. And children today are very clear what they want to do in life. Sometimes what happens is that, at a young age, you may want to do something, you may get onto it, and then you realize probably this is not, what I actually wanted to do.
Yeah,
But then again, it's an information age. There is no, stoppage of you from learning or acquiring any other skills. Everything is available on click of a button.
yeah,
And at today's age, I think everyone should have a passion side by side, and everyone should have a plan B. Because with the kind of markets that we are in today, recession comes in any time. One industry may go, out of need or out of requirement. So it is very necessary, like, for every individual to find that spot, to find that, space where he feels expanded, even if it is not his profession, and develop it as a passion, as a hobby, which may, in the later stage become a profession. So you have your weekdays, you have your weekends, you have your spare time that you could keep upskilling yourself, learning more about what you actually want to do, even if you are tied down with responsibilities at your present stage of life. But there could always be time to take something additional as a source of income, as a source of fulfillment, as a source of, networking with people. So whatever it is. So now opportunities are ample. It's only that you need to know what you want to do, and you should be willing to take that step to work a
absolutely.
little extra, but you can always carve your niche out. That's what I would
Amazing.
feel.
Great,
Yeah.
great insights. So, when I was going through your profile, it is very
Okay.
interesting, your profile. So, there was one thing that I read which says emotional freedom technique. You specialize in it. And
Right.
emotional freedom
Right.
and sense of inner peace are key components of well-being in today's world.
Very true. Very
So
true.
how can you help our audience, or give us some key insightful steps or key takeaways or some tips that will help them to be emotionally free?
Right. So the thing is, see, well-being is a very holistic concept. It involves being emotionally, spiritually as well as physically, being well, being healthy, and being, in a state of peace and happiness. So that comes when your emotions are, given a way to vent out, when you don't have pent up emotions of fear, guilt, or any kind of, abuse, or any kind of negative impressions which stop you or hinder you from performing at your best levels. So, there are different ways of releasing those emotions. Some people do it through healing processes, some people do it through praying, some people do it, by shouting, screaming. Some people do it, by just silently writing it down, scripting. There are different means. So
Yes,
EFT
yes,
is also one of the techniques which I learned, which I did a short course on. So it says that, whatever emotions that are not resolved peacefully get blocked somewhere in your physical body.
yes,
It could be in your muscle, it could be in your bones, it could be, in your cells. And that causes different kind of tensions, pain, ache, and maybe diseases in, going forward. So EFT is also a kind of release where you allow those emotions to go out. I mean, you kind of release them. So it is
right.
a simple technique which is based on tapping. So you
Okay.
have certain points in your body where you tap, and you just,
Yes.
these are your pressure points, or, your pain points. So you just, keep tapping, and you keep repeating positive affirmation that
Okay.
I'm releasing this pain, I'm allowing this emotion to go away, I'm becoming healthier, and you keep tapping. So once you continue doing this procedure for days, you ultimately find yourself releasing those pent up emotions.
Right.
So that is how it is. So, the emotions which trouble you will always prevent you from becoming your perfect self. So
Yes.
time to time, we all start, storing the unresolved emotions in us.
Yes.
So you have to release them. So EFT is also one of the techniques. It is not necessary that, you have to follow this technique. Different things work for different people. Whatever you feel that you are comfortable with, you should follow that. You should follow your heart. That is what I always say. And you will find your solution ultimately yourself, because nobody knows better about you than you.
Yes, that is there. But then what happens is the people around, they also impact and influence. So I remember back then, maybe 20, 25 years ago, there was a lady who used to listen to positive affirmations. And at that
Right.
point in time, there were the spectators who said, "Ye pagal hai kya? Apni tarif sun rahi
Hmm.
hai." So
Exactly.
that also affects. And like you said, you have emotions which are pent up, and then yes, it bursts. How much
Yes.
air can you fill in a balloon? But then
Very true.
the stereotypical thinking of individuals around you, that also hampers and hinders, I would say,
Very true.
where
Hmm.
when you are trying to calm yourself, it may be in any form, journaling, screaming, shouting. Now, if I write negative affirmations in a diary,
Right.
so the whole diary
Right.
is full of it. But if someone reads that diary, they say, "What's wrong with this woman?"
Right.
Right? Because it's all
Right.
negative. There's nothing positive. Now, it needs
Exactly.
to come out in some way.
Very true. Very true.
Or even that burst of anger when it comes out. But what I have seen is uh, it's a 50-50 ratio that some people understand, that you are venting out. And some people
Mm.
don't take it in that way.
Very
So,
true.
what is your take on that?
See, the thing is, everything takes time. Everything takes time to heal. Everything, people around you take time to understand you, and you also take time to adjust with people. But if you are on a specific purpose to release or vent out your emotions, and you constantly keep working, gradually the noise outside will start becoming lesser, and your inner peace will start growing. That is the only way. See, we cannot control the noise outside, but what we can do is we can increase the silence inside, which will help us overtake that noise outside. So that is
Right.
the only way. Nobody will face or achieve this inner peace in 1 month or 2 months. It's a journey, it's a process. You may take months, or you may even take years, but you have to be constantly on it. You have to be focused that my inner peace is my priority. I have to find my center. I have to get into that zone where the world doesn't matter. And once you get there, then nobody in the world, people may come and disturb you, but you know how to rewound back.
Yes, yes.
You know how to come back to your center. So the things which used to disturb you for months or days now would just disturb you for few hours, and again you are ready to bounce back. So this
Right.
is what happens when you find that peace. So it's a process, it takes time, and you have to be determined, focused that I want to achieve that. So that is how it is.
So consistency is the key, and of course, not losing hope, because you get
Yes.
frustrated, you come up, down, up, down.
Very true.
So,
See,
yeah,
like you eat your food every day, your body needs food, so your mind also needs some detoxification.
yes,
You
yes,
could find your own way of doing it, but you need to do it every day. It's
right.
your fuel for your, a healthy and a holistic way of living.
Amazing, amazing. I think this has, given our audience a lot of key insights of finding
Right.
that inner peace. And in short, I'll say not bothering about the people around you, but just
Yeah.
be yourself, be with yourself, because ultimately you are important. And if you are
Very,
there, of course, others are there.
very true. Very
Yeah.
true.
So,
Exactly. I echo.
what is that one piece of advice that you would like to give our audience to inspire them on this journey, which is very, very important, I feel, as a sense of well being and otherwise also for that mental state? So, what is that
Right.
one piece of advice you would want to share?
So, the only thing that I would like to share with people around you, see, you may be at whatever stage of life you may be, and we all have needs, and the needs also fall, they would also go, your needs would change as per time, and you would also follow a hierarchy of needs, like starting from your basic needs, then your social needs, then your needs for self esteem. So what happens is that we get so busy in just fulfilling our basic and our self esteem needs that we try not to focus on the ultimate need of every soul, which is the need
Right,
for self actualization. So
right.
we don't have to wait for a retirement to
Yeah,
come to that stage where we realize that in spite of being a having a flourishing career, and in spite of having everything in life, still we are so unfulfilled. So why not walk on the path of inward and outward journey together? That is finding your inner peace, finding your inner solace, and also doing extremely well in your profession. So
love.
I want people to, spiritually connect with their inner being, and also get that passion and their, hard work to excel in the outer world. So this is my only message, that start early. The faster you begin, the faster you will have a better experience of life. You will live a more fulfilling life. You would also like to do best for yourself and also contribute for the well-being of the world.
Lovely insight, I would say. We've gained so much of knowledge. Now, after a little serious talk, let's have a little, not a game, I'll say, just your take on a couple of statements. So,
Sure,
what's
sure.
the one thing that you can't live without?
One thing I can't live without: my family.
Amazing. One piece of
I need love.
advice. Love.
Yeah,
Yes, of course, we all
I would
do.
say, youngsters today don't want to fall into relationships. They don't want to commit. But I feel that, if you marry at an early stage, I mean, maybe by 25 or you mid 20s, I think you can have a wonderful life, because you will have a life partner who would be your partner in everything you do in life. And that can become such a big support for you. So youngsters who don't want to get committed, or who don't want to, fall into this trap, but you have to realize that your family is your first circle, who protects you, who gives you power, who gives you, strength to face any challenge in life. So always keep your first circle of influence, your first circle of nourishment close and tight to you. That's what
Amazing.
I would say.
Your life
Yeah.
story in 4 words.
See, life story is that, like everybody got into job early, did a job in a multinational, then started, got married, had big children, started, getting busy with the daily chores, what everybody goes through. And then discovering that what I actually want to do, that in spite of being a mother, a wife, a daughter, daughter-in-law, there is something beyond that, that is me and what I want to do. I want to enrich my soul. And once I enriched my soul, I wanted to share it with the world. So that
Lovely.
is what you also have to find, that what is it that you from inside, your soul wants to do, and then how you can add value to the world is what gives meaning and purpose to life.
Lovely.
So
What
going
is
forward, continue this. Yeah.
amazing? So, your favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Travel. Travel and maybe, go out and, go to a different restaurant, eat a different kind of food. So that is how, totally change the environment I'm in, the whole day. So just go
Right.
to a different place, go out with friends or family, just eat or drink something, different, try something
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
So that is how I, unwind.
What's the best piece of advice that you have received?
I have received. See, I won't say best piece of advice, because at every moment, at every junction of life, different kind of advices are needed. Once I got married, I didn't want to have children for at least 2 3 years. So somebody said, there is a biological clock. The better, the sooner you have it, the better it is. So maybe it was relevant at that moment of time, and actually finally I gave into that, and I realized that before the age of 30 I had two children. So by the time I'm in my 40s, my children have already grown up. So
Yes,
it gives me so much time and so much space to explore what I want to do more.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
sometimes, one advice at one moment of time by somebody, if you take it, really changes the course of your life. So I think, I will say at different time, different advices work for me. So, this could be one example. Yeah.
Great, amazing. Thank you so much, Ritu, for all the insights that you have shared with us today. And it was a pleasure having you on the show. Any last take or any one liner that you would like to share?
I would just like to say, Alvina, it was absolutely great to have a host like you who could actually, within few minutes get me speaking on everything about myself and my life. And the last thing that I would say is, remember, my life, my responsibility. Whatever you do today will define your future. Live each day to the fullest, because if you sulk today, your future will also be unhappy, sad. So try to make yourself happy today. Take decisions that will make you more happier tomorrow, and your life will be rocking. That's it. Thank you so much. And I really enjoyed my time.
Thank you, Ritu, for being a part of the show. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elvina. All the best to you.